Shalom everyone. So we're up to Parsha's Chayei Sarah. Avraham Avinu has stood up to the 10th test. He's taken his son up Mount Moriah, Har HaMoriah, and when Sarah hears about it, so her heart flutters and she drops dead. Vayu Chayei Sarah. However, the Torah reveals to us that from the minute Sarah was born, it was pre-planned she would die at this minute. That was the amount of life she was granted. But from Avram's perspective, what Avram saw was, I did what you wanted, God, and what happened in the end? Sarah dropped dead. And this is one of the challenges we often face in life. We do what's right, and then the way life plays itself out, we can think to ourselves that the outcome was all wrong. Avram Avinu did what was right, and had he done the Akedah or not, Sarah would have passed that day. Vayiyu Chayei Sarah. This was the life she was granted from the minute she was born, and she had an incredible life. She had a life where she minted a coin with her husband Avram that showed her as an old woman and as a young woman. She was granted that blessing to return to her youth. She ended her life without transgression, and now Avram is going to come to eulogize Sarah and bury her. And the Hittites, the Bnei Chet, well, they're not interested in giving him an area to just bury Sarah. But Avram Avinu knows that there's this very special place where Adam had concealed his own burial and the burial of Chava. It is what we call Me'arat HaMachpelah, that double cave. And no one dares enter that cave. They were all very scared of that cave. But Avram comes and says to Ephron, the owner of that cave, I'd love to buy that cave and the field and that whole area as a permanent burial plot for my family. And Ephron stands up in front of everyone that day. They appointed him as one of the governors. And Ephron says, look, between people like me and you, 400 gold coins, what's that between friends like us? Now, that was a way high overprice for that field and that cave, and Avram hears very well what Ephron's insinuating, and Avram says, fine, I'll give you the best coins and we will sign it all off and everything has to be legalized. And the people of Chet, they say, well, zoning, you can't really just create a burial plot here. And Avram Avinu works within their system to legalize and ensure that he can buy this plot of land, not only for Sarah, but for all future generations. And Avram Avinu gives over a message that we view life as something spiritual that continues after someone's passing. And that's why he's willing to invest in the burial plot for Sarah. And only after he's legalized it and worked out all the details does he bury Sarah. When he comes up from his mourning, he says, hey, I have to marry off Yitzchak. And so he calls in his faithful servant Eliezer, that trusted servant, and he says, look, I need you to find a wife for my son Yitzchak, someone who matches our values. Because when you're looking for a wife, you're looking for someone who has the kindness, the midot tovot traits, just like our home. And even if she's a pagan or not, that's not what matters. I want you to go to my family and make sure to bring me someone from there. And Eliezer takes the camels and he muzzles them because Avram's always careful not to let his camels graze off of stolen goods. And he travels out to Besuel, to Lavan, to Avram's relatives. And when he shows up, he makes this test. He says, God, the right girl will not only offer me to drink, but she'll also offer my camels to drink. Because then she's fitting for Avram's house. She's got that extra kindness to her. And as we know, Rebecca comes down to the well. She's a young girl. She's all 3 years old. And Rebecca right away sees this giant of a hulk of a man, Eliezer, with all his camels, and she offers him to drink, and she says, I'll also give your camels to drink. And Eliezer sees his prayer just came true. He just asked for it, and here it's coming true. He asks her, what family are you from? And she says, I'm from Besuel, from Avram's family. And Eliezer is excited. This is going to be the wife for Yitzchak. She's a woman of chesed, of kindness. And when she brings him home, so Besuel has another plan. He poisons the soup. They want to steal all of the goods, but you know what? God has a different plan, and there's a mix-up in the soups, and Besuel drinks the poisoned soup. He passes away that night. And the next morning, Eliezer is ready to take Rebecca back to marry Yitzchak. And Lavan and her mother, Lavan the brother, they all say, give her some time. That's it. You're just taking her off. So Eliezer says, it's a success. The shidduch matches. Let's make it happen. And they say, no, we'll ask the girl, the 3-year-old. She's not going so fast. And Rebecca says, I'm going, with you or without you. I'm going to marry Yitzchak. And she does. And there's true love between her and Yitzchak. And she comes back, and all the blessings of Sarah come back to the tent. The Shekhinah, the heavenly presence of a cloud, comes back. The dough has the blessings. The candles stay lit from Shabbat to Shabbat. Rivka brings back the blessings of Sarah to the house. And Yitzchak teaches us what true love is, something that develops after marriage, after you start seeing how great the person you married is. So the end of the Parsha tells us about how Avram passed from the world, and how Yishmael did tshuva, and Yishmael came and respected Yitzchak and said, you lead the burial, because you're the real continuum of Avram. The Parsha ends with how Yishmael developed, Avram passed from the world at a good ripe old age, and Yitzchak is now the center of our story, as we will see next week in Parshat Toldot. Join us. Shabbat Shalom.